Bro, I think they got your boy Diddy. I think they got your boy Diddy. I think it's a wrap. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
What you
I think it's
say
gonna
is
be
a rap?
difficult for him to
What you think is
overcome.
a rap?
Huh?
Everything? You think everything a rap? What you mean?
So here's the thing, bro. You know, a lot of people be talking about this billionaire talk, but what people don't understand about this billionaire talk is a lot of those billions, you know, when you get to
Come from
certain
deals.
levels, be predicated on deals. It be predicated on partnerships. It be predicated on valuations of what something is worth based on different connections and relationships. Once those relationships start to disappear, bro, it's a wrap. And I
But
honestly
we see it with
believe
Kanye.
the same with Kanye, bro. He went from a billionaire to no longer within like 10 days. That's a real thing because a lot of those billions be based on valuations of other people, partnerships, and different brand deals or whatever they may have going on. Once that's over, bro, it's a wrap.
It's out of there.
Out of there. And
So you think his billionaire status is ruined? It's done. Cool.
It's done. It's done. And I believe that I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hear rumors that P. Diddy is broke. I wouldn't be surprised because, bro, think about it.
How much time you talking about? You talking about like in the next 2-3 weeks? You talking about the next year, 2 years, 3 years?
Here's the deal. Why is he a billionaire? All right. It's based on certain relationships that he has, certain connections that he has, right? And probably assets that he owns. But here's the deal. Once people start distancing themselves, once people stop honoring certain agreements or partnerships or no longer want to be, associated with Buddy, bro, that little $1 billion that he got, and I hate to, call it Lil, but that little $1 billion valuation, it disappears overnight.
I'm not gonna lie, $1 billion a lot, man.
$1 billion is a lot. But it don't take
like Dr.
long.
O said, from billion to broke. Come on, man. If he go to 200 million, he's still all right.
No.
You don't think so?
Bro, you seen that house? Unless he sells some shit.
But
yeah.
I think he's been having that house though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, bro, all of that kind of stuff takes a lot of maintenance, bro. You got full-time staff to maintain houses that big. Huh?
All these court cases take a lot of maintenance.
All these court cases take a lot of maintenance. It's just one of those things where you just have to just read between the lines when it comes to people talking about $1 billion status, bro.
I know for me, I feel like he'll go from a billionaire to about 300 mil. I don't think he'll go all the way broke. Because a lot of these assets that he has, just from what I've seen, I don't know for sure, he been having.
That's true.
Like that house, he been having it. I'm talking about, I think both of them, 10 plus years. Yeah. You never seen, hey, Diddy just bought this. Hey, Diddy just bought that. You know what I'm saying? The videos that he be showing, same houses he been having. I don't know, man. And he got a lot of things he been having back in the day. You know what I'm saying? The only new things that he came out with is he didn't even come out with Ciroc. He was not a partner in Ciroc. DeLeon, he don't have that no more. That's done. He brought the Love Records shit back. He ain't really made no money off it, like talking about it. I know big money. So, I don't know if you noticed, but he was gone like off the scene for a long time.
Should have stayed off the scene, bro. If you think about it, think about this, bro. And I was reading this article, right? I was checking out this article and it brought up this theory, right? It's called the in-group. It's called the in-group. Let me pull it up real quick. I got to pull this up. This is dope. But it's a phenomenon, bro. And it's called the in-group versus the out-group dynamics. The in-group versus the out-group dynamics. And
before you get to it, man, we gotta hit the intro, man.
Let's hit the intro.
Let's get to it, man. The in and out group. What about it? We got Dr. O in the building, man.
We got Dr. O in the building.
What's going on? Good morning.
And I definitely want to get her take on this, right? So
yes,
what it is, so Dr. O, I definitely want to get your take on this theory, right? And we got a lot of different theories that I want to cover on this particular topic because it speaks to a lot. It speaks to a lot. And I want to liken it to where Diddy is, and I want to liken it also to where Beyonce and Jay-Z are. This is key. So it says the in-group versus out-group dynamics, meaning people may perceive successful people or individuals as belonging to an out-group, right? Whether that be Illuminati, whatever it may be, but they belong to an out-group, leading to a dehumanization and increased willingness to spread rumors or incriminate them as they are seen as less deserving of empathy and fairness. I'm going to read this one more time. The in-group versus the out-group dynamic. People may perceive successful individuals as belonging to an out-group, leading to a dehumanization and increased willingness to spread rumors or incriminate them as they are seen as less deserving or empathy or fairness. And a lot of this is done, right? A lot of this is done under the veil of entertainment in a lot of cases, just purely entertainment value. And it says that ultimately the downfall of a successful individual may be seen as a form of entertainment, providing drama and intrigue that captivates audiences and drives engagement in spreading rumors or incriminating others. What is your take on that in-group versus out-group dynamic? Do you think this is a real phenomenon? They say that this has existed for, since people have existed. I mean, essentially, they did the same thing to Jesus, right? What's your take on that?
Yeah, no, I think that it is a true phenomenon. I think it's a part of our development too as people, like the programming, right? So here's the popular people. So you're groomed like all the way, like even in kindergarten, right? Because there's like the teacher's pet, and then it grows into middle school where you're like the somebody of something, you're getting awards, and then you get into high school and there's the in crowd and the out crowd, or the athletes and versus the nerds or whatever, and then you get into college and then there's a core group of like a certain type of people. So then look at all of our movies, look at every film that talks about anything to do with younger age people. We're not even to adulthood yet. In every movie, you see these segregated groups. So you're being programmed very young through all your media, through your school, through your education, that these people are in and these people are out. Rich is good and poor is bad, or whatever, however you want to label it. So yeah, I think it's a part of a socioeconomic and a psychological society, that there's the in and there's the out. What I don't know is if that's a true problem, because the people on either side are comfortable with those type of stereotypes. There are people that can maneuver through those groups and be able to be in with all of those groups and out with all of those groups. And those people that have the most power.
I like that. I like that, because that speaks to, when you look at Beyonce and Jay-Z, I used to always wonder, like, why doesn't Beyonce ain't got nothing to say? She never, like, you never gonna hear Beyonce on no interview. You're not gonna hear Beyonce or Jay-Z, rarely on the interview.
Jay-Z, hot. He a hybrid.
Matter of fact, the time that I remember when Jay-Z started doing interviews more, right? At one little time, it was probably like in the early 2000s. And immediately when he started doing interviews or becoming more visible from a humanistic standpoint, he was considered the Illuminati. Literally. I don't know if y'all remember this.
Like, I remember that, yeah. It's all
like
over YouTube.
Literally, he became the Illuminati. And then and now that I thought about this article, the in-group versus the out-group, it was like, damn, like, is this really a thing? Is this really a thing?
But
they are quiet.
You got to think about now, we love Beyonce. I do. I love Beyonce. I'm gonna speak for me. I love Beyonce as a person.
You in the B group?
I think we
called
love Beyonce
What
quiet.
I'm trying to say, y'all, and this
Beehive.
is no disrespect to the queen, but she doesn't speak very well.
That's true.
This is no disrespect to her. She doesn't speak very well. I think she's extremely highly intelligent, but she is a product of her Texan, Houston growing up environment. And that's not a bad environment. You speak extremely well, Byron. I've been to Houston. My auntie lived in Houston. Some of us speak well. So I'm not just talking about vernacular or tone or dialect. I'm talking about her words don't sound as intelligent as she is, if that makes sense. So she doesn't speak as well. If you interview Paul Wall, okay, and he is Houston, okay, he sounds intelligent. He just sounds like a white black dude or whatever you want to call it, but he's super smart. Don't get it twisted. He just has a tone and things of that nature based off of where he grew up. So there are people that sound like this and they talk like this, but they're still like super smart. And what they're saying coming out of their mouth sounds intelligent. They just have a tone and dialect that sounds different. She does not sound intelligent. So you never saw her really speaking ever. Even when she was a little girl, if you look at the interviews, Kelly grabs that mic more than anybody.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that Beyonce is dumb whatsoever to create those
just
type
don't
of
talk
songs.
good.
She just doesn't talk well. So she doesn't get to do that. Jay-Z doesn't want to continue to incriminate himself. I remember watching an interview, and he's very, very intelligent as well. And when he does do an interview, notice who he interviews with. He's sitting with Warren Buffett. He's sitting with people that can at least elevate what he used to be in the drug status, or, you know, when he was in Brooklyn. And remember, he has a certain vernacular as well, because he sounds like New York. I mean, he just really sounds like all of New York. So I get it. So sometimes people separate themselves based off of what image that they want people to see them as. Beyonce looks like something. She sounds like something when she sings. She's undeniably a star. From the beginning, you could tell that even when she was a little girl, she was somebody important. Her mother looks important. Her mother speaks well. Her father speaks well. She just never really spoke well, so she doesn't speak. So I think there's a few things going on with that. And then secondly, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Neville Goddard, and I hate to get all super, spiritual, but Neville Goddard studied under this Egyptian man, right? And this Egyptian man began to teach him about what we would call like spirituality, Christ, this, that, and the third. And this Egyptian man was giving him all these real nuggets. So he has this thing, see the end in your mind and move your life like the end of your life and live out of the end, right? So Beyonce and Jay-Z are living like the end of them. They're not living like the people on the way. And that's what separates them from a lot of people, or why they don't do as many interviews. I think Puff Daddy would grab that mic, incriminate himself every time he has the mic, like Donald Trump.
He's already done that.
Yeah, he acts like Donald Trump. So if you give him the mic, he's going to incriminate himself. It's just going to. Okay, so he shouldn't be in front of the microphone. And this is PR. So we really have PR to thank for the highs and lows, the ebbs and flows, the rich, the poor, the this, the that. It is the PR people that are puppeteering these talented people on how they should appear in the image. I think if you sat down and talked to Beyonce, she probably has a lot to say. But is she ever really going to be able to say it on the microphone? I doubt it.
But Dr. O, hold up. So if you saying that, right, why, if they don't just talk well, then why everybody got to sign NDAs? You know what I'm saying? When they come around Beyonce and Jay-Z, what you got to hide? Why everybody got to have a gag?
Nobody got to speak their business.
When they
Nobody
get around,
can speak on what they saw.
If I make people sign NDAs too. That's number one. That's law. That's protection.
That's law?
Yeah, that's law. That's protection of ignorance, because some people see and target people. They prey on the rich. They prey on the poor. Everybody's up for grabs. When I worked with what's his name? I'm so sorry. Jerry Jones. When I worked with Jerry Jones used to feed the homeless. I'm talking about nonstop, take care of anybody that needed anything. This was old Irving Cowboy Stadium. He would take that food. We used to have so much food at the stadiums. He would take that food and feed troughs of people. Okay. You know what happened? They started suing him. The homeless people started suing him. When we worked at the big churches down here, all of the huge 127 Providence churches, I worked at all those churches. They would open their door and let the homeless come in there and sleep in there at night while the church was not going. Anything that wasn't happening at the church, those doors were open. Guess what? Ricky Rush started getting sued. So
No good deed goes
I get what you're
unpunished.
saying, though. I get what you're saying, that people become a target. But are they? But at some point, right? You know, these gag orders that people are putting on, we seeing the real deal. You know what I'm saying? We seen with R. Kelly. You know, a lot of people knew what was going on with them girls and didn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? They didn't say nothing because of these things. So, you know, I hear what you're saying, that somebody victim, you know, can be victim to just trying to help people out. But these people ain't helping people out. They raping people. They having human trafficking going on. Allegedly, they doing the most at these parties.
But to label people like, okay, that person is doing, now whoever's doing it, I agree with you, Queen, they should be ousted. But that's not the purpose of an NDA and a gag order. The purpose of an NDA, right, is because if I go and sit with Byron, he probably would want to get, if I sit with anyone with money, or anyone with status, excuse me, they don't even have to have money. Anyone with a great idea, and you're talking to me freely. We're having lunch and dinner. You start telling me some ideas, some thoughts. Maybe you start sharing some connections with me. We should have done that from the get-go out of protection of our future self. This is what I meant by earlier. I know who I am. And I have sat with too many people that have robbed me for no reason, okay? That have preyed upon me for no reason. My own people, my own peers, people with money, people without money. It didn't matter. So I think some of that stuff. Now, if you are making a girl sign an order that whatever we do in this room is consensual and that we're about to have sex, and I'm gonna have sex with you, and we're gonna do some freaky stuff, and I'm gonna make you sign this out of protection for my brand, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with that. I'm not talking about the little kids and the psychoness and the evil and all that. I'm just talking about like grown thinking men who have been totally ousted. And I'm sure whoever, women do it too, but why wouldn't you protect yourself if you already know what's going to happen when you have sex with this girl? She's going to end up pregnant. It's going to end up in the news. It's going to end up on television because she's going to want notoriety from having had sex with you. You know the rules. This been happening way before some celebrityism. This was happening.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Man, I signed the NDA, sir. But
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with
hold on
the legal activity.
I gotta get. Hold on one second. I got to get to this real quick because this is what just
Today,
recently
Fox
took
11
place.
was the first to report about a raid at the home of Sean Diddy Combs. Tonight, we're digging a little deeper into the legal issues already facing the music mogul.
They include multiple lawsuits involving allegations of sex workers, hidden cameras, and compromising recordings of celebrities and politicians. Now, all this was prior to today's federal raid. Fox 11's Gina Silva digging into that tonight. She's got the latest on those lawsuits. Gina.
Alex, Christine, this right here, it is the lawsuit. It is 75 pages of just shocking allegations. Many legal experts say the accusations are very similar to those of Jeffrey Epstein's case.
If you have read this complaint and seen the nature of these allegations, the raids aren't that surprising.
It's a 75-page complaint with explosive allegations of sexual assault, sex trafficking, and drugging of underage girls. The lawsuit was filed by music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones on February.
What's crazy is not only is they're not just going after Sean Combs. I don't know if you guys see in here. They're going after the sons too now. Yeah, and so it's a lot.
Prince Harry is all over Yahoo News this morning because he's on. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to laugh. Prince Harry is now on Yahoo News because he's been named in all these documents. So remember, his brother Andrew was named in Jeffrey Epstein case, right? And so now. So this is not about Puff Daddy. That's what's cute about this whole situation. These are about all the people connected to him. They want somebody way bigger than some Puff Daddy. They want, listen, when you come for a Puff Daddy who's a public blah, blah, blah. Nah, it's somebody else they want. So they didn't want Jeffrey Epstein. Believe that.
They wanted Trump in this joint.
They wanted Trump. They don't want Epstein. No, they want Trump. Epstein's been a billionaire since he was a billionaire. Matter of fact, you know what's crazy? I'm so sorry I have to say this because it's financial literacy. When you look at the Jeffrey Epstein case, They will show all of his money, all of his properties, all of his holdings, all his stuff. Anyway, I grabbed screenshots of that stuff, right? When you research all of that stuff, look at who he's connected to. Not him. He's just the guy that sets up the table for the people. He's just the guy. Oprah Winfrey and them, all those people that came and purchased from him, he was running all of their money. He was running trillions of dollars of money for many, many people. These were requests. He was offering a service. Puff Daddy technically would be offering a service. Prince Harry is using the service, and that's who they want. But I digress, because I'm sure Puff Daddy's going to go to jail. If they find him guilty, he's going to jail. And we would want that, provided that these innocent people have been hurt.
You know the messed up part about this?
What's that?
This guy Rodney used to work for that man, bro. That's fucked up.
Well, it goes back, so it goes back to what Dr. O was talking about earlier, with the pastor that was feeding the homeless that ended up suing him, right? At the end of the day, what people don't realize is that, bro, at the end of the day, no good deed goes unpunished. And when you do have a certain spotlight on you, anything can be turned against you. And so when you are moving foul, you gotta move. You gotta protect yourself. Like if you have any, this is the reason why I'm real big on dig discipline. I feel like a lot of men are out here exercising their options, and
too much.
And I think, I think at the end of the day, it's one of those situations where, bro, this is what I've learned. It's what I've learned. Just because you can does not mean you need to.
Or you should.
Or you should. Just because you can does not mean that you need to or you should, especially as a man, especially as a person who is of influence, a person who is of certain financial status, because you could easily become food, whether you meant bad, whether you did good, whether you did bad. You could easily become food for anybody who feels that they want to. Bro, why not?
ASAP.
Because at the end of the day, bro, you have to be careful about the fake pats on the back and the fake smiles in your face when you reach a certain level of success. These things come with the territory. And at the end of the day, bro, if somebody is in a position where they can benefit from your demise, right? Why wouldn't they take that opportunity? The homeless people sued the guy who was feeding them because a lawyer got in their face and said, you can, technically you can sue him for that, because what if the food is this, or what if this is that, bro? It's always going to be somebody willing to make that play. What's y'all thoughts on that? I know we got the God in the building. I want to get his take too.
That's absolutely true, man. That's why you got to realize a lot of people that see these successful people, they always wonder why they don't help people out with all that money. They spend all that money on clothes and shoes and buying houses. They could have helped the needy. That's the reason why people that reach a certain level don't go back and reach back, because the people that they're trying to help always trying to get back at them. Like they bite their hand and feed them. They trying to do good. And the people on the other side trying to take more. They giving you food. Now I need food and money. Oh, you don't want to give the money? I'm going to sue you. That's all they're doing, is trying to help you out. On the opposite side, you got to be good. If you're doing wrong, you got to protect yourself at all times. Because just because you're doing good don't mean that the wrong that you did in the past will come back and get you. And they come back and get you in different ways.
It's a fact.
What's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, the God, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Peace, everybody. Good morning, man. Listen, man. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but it just seemed kind of weird that everybody who I grew up, watching, listening to the last 20 to 30 years, I'm not going to say everybody, but a good percentage. Like if you look at it, right, we got Michael Jackson, we got Prince, we got Bill Cosby, we got Mike Tyson, we got Tupac, we got Biggie, we got Sean Combs, we got R. Kelly, we got Aaliyah, we got Left Eye. I mean, how many people have we lost in our community that was successful. And I'm finding it hard to buy that all of these men were just, you know, they were serial rapists and they was just totally crazy people. It's just weird for me to believe that. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm bugging out, but it just seems like too much of a coincidence.
You're on mute, Ruby. You're on mute.
Even though it's a coincidence, we can't sit here and act like it don't happen. I mean, he got a Fed raid going on. You know what I'm saying? That's a different level. That means you was doing things you wasn't supposed to be doing. You ain't just making music, you know. I mean, and if and it ain't just Black community. There's a lot of different people in Hollywood in general is infamous for these people doing this type of stuff. And because they're part of the elite of the elites and they got money, nobody's saying nothing because everybody's getting a kickback. Everybody, when everybody getting fed, you let things slide. I mean, all these people got security getting paid. Everybody getting paid. And that's the problem that I have is we put these people on pedestal and say they can do no harm. They can do the most harm because they feel like they're invincible. They feel like they can do these things. So I don't feel sorry for them at all. I don't. And I'm glad they get exposed.
So you think all of our great artists and athletes was doing something wrong to the extent that they need to be killed or they need to be locked up and all of that?
I never said all because I don't believe in absolute, but I definitely believe there's a select few of people that think that they better than everybody else. I do believe that there's people out there that they got too much money and too much time on your hand. And those things lead to things that you ain't supposed to be doing, like raping kids, human trafficking, things you ain't supposed to be doing. That ain't got nothing to do with their profession. That got everything to do with their sex life. That's the problem.
That happened on every level.
Yeah, that's
you got the most money in a situation. You go do some shit.
So you think it's y'all seem to think it's hard for them to build a case up on somebody. A conspiracy case and stuff like that is really not hard to be built. I'm so
easy
sorry.
work. Listen, I am not of the camp that believes that these people can't be touched. I believe that they can be touched, and I can think they can be touched.
Just take that one person that started. Like this whole situation started from Cassie, and now this shit is out of here.
Easy work, bro.
Like, take one person. That's it.
Because at the end of the day, bro, you know, we have to acknowledge, right, this theory that we was just talking about. We have to acknowledge some piece of that, bro. Like a part of society, when we see successful people, right? And I think this is just in general, bro. And it's been like this for hundreds of years, since humans have existed, bro. You got to understand, in Rome, bro, they literally would have coliseums where they put, you know, people that were, you know, popular, different things of that nature in cages to fight tigers. Like this is a real thing. This is not a new phenomenon. This has been happening for hundreds of years. So what I'm saying by this, and this is not to absolve anybody of anything, of any wrongdoing. If they did it, they deserve it. They need to go to jail. But what I'm saying is this in-group, out-group dynamic has existed amongst people. What is that? People may perceive successful individuals as belonging to an out-group. Once that person belongs to an out-group, it is easy to witness them leading to a dehumanization and an increased willingness to spread rumors and incriminate them as they are seen as less deserving of empathy or fairness. This has happened throughout history. And so I always like to preface these conversations through that lens, because at the end of the day, right, you'll see somebody like a 50 Cent. You'll see a lot of people who are like, even like a Cat Williams, who the people will love. They will love that archetype because that archetype is perceived as fighting for the people, but in reality, it's fodder for entertainment, right? And they know that they don't want to be the top guy because the top guy gets all of the arrows, so they throw darts at the top guy from the top, and it creates a weird dynamic. I want to get Dr. O's take on that, what I just said right there, just real quick. What's your take on that? Because I don't want to get too deep and go over nobody.
No. Reiterate real quick, summarize real fast. If we're talking about basically, I guess we can say like, okay, I'm good enough to be with the people, and I'm cool enough to be with the people, but I don't want to be the top guy because that guy is going to get all the dart. So I heard you say, but what is the actual question, or what type of take are you looking for that specifically?
What I'm trying to break down is that it has always been, people have always kind of enjoyed watching the downfall of successful people. And yeah, I think once you reach that billionaire status, once you reach that billion, and this is not just a black thing, this is just in general. I've seen people go after Bill what's his name? Bill Gates. People have gone after what's his name? Amazon, Jeff Bezos. It's like once you reach a certain level of status, I really think it's that billionaire threshold. Once you reach that, people start to dehumanize you. You immediately become Illuminati, some type of out group, and you are no longer human, and you are less deserving of empathy and fairness at that point. I've witnessed this happen. Whether it be Oprah, whether it be Diddy, whether it be Jay-Z, whether it be Bill Gates. I want to understand, why do we kind of do that? What's your take on it?
I think it's back to what Miss Ruby, I think that was Miss Ruby speaking. I think it's back to what she was saying. There's some darkness there. Okay. We're not gonna roll over that. There is a lot of darkness. I agree with O on there's darkness on a lot of slides. There are poor guys that pimp children. Okay. There are plenty of poor men that pimp children, but there's also plenty of people that hide behind their wealth and status and their money, and they're able to get away with stuff a lot better. Those with money will always be able to afford the best of lawyers, the best of resources, the best of everything. So it would be more befitting for someone who can hide behind their wealth, hide behind their status, hide behind their money, and do wrong to people. So that's a better way for them to hide behind it. Bill Gates is evil. You will never see Bill Gates going to China, Russia, Australia, or Canada, doing tests on people. He always runs to, look where people run to. Okay. He runs to Africa. He loves messing with the little African kids. These nasty men that like having sex, these senators and congressmen and leaders and big age people, they like going to Taiwan, messing with people that have nothing they can do. So we've got to be honest about both sides. So we have to just at least say that much. However, to the God's point, I do notice the target on leadership and anyone of status. You know, we talked about the Black Panthers, this, that, and the third. So I do notice that as well. I think there's a mixture of things going on. But to your point, Byron, what you're looking for is, why is it that the people at the top always seem to be cooped in with some form of evil because they're at the top? Whereas where Ruby's coming from is, no, they were evil before they got to the top, or they're doing evil while they're at the top and they're being protected. So there's a few conversations going on. But what I believe is that the reason why we see targets on the backs of billionaires and aboves, or rich people and above, is because society is controllable. It's easier to control you to say, if you become the next Malcolm X, you know we're going to kill you, right? If you become the next Dr. Martin Luther King, we're going to shoot you from the balcony, right? Any leaders will be shot in the head, okay? All do what you want to do, but y'all going to be shot in the head. You're going to be dead. You're going to end up dead. If you want to lead people or be the king of people, we're going to kill you. That's pretty much what the message is saying. It's also telling you, if you do reach this status, you want all this money, you want all this fame, you're going to be a target. So it's almost controlling people into saying, you know what, I'm just going to stay down here. I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to stay out of the limelight. I'm not going to make all that money because I know as soon as I make that much money, I'm going to have a target on my back and blah, blah, blah. So doesn't it control people simultaneously and say, hey, listen, I don't need to be that rich? Because what did Charleston White say? Although Charleston White has a lot of money, by the way. What did Charleston White say? Anything over $5 million, I'm going to be evil, right? What he's saying is he already knows what comes with that territory. Now, Elon Musk doesn't care what comes with the territory. Byron O'Neill, Dr. O, whatever name yourself in the chat. You might not care about what comes with it, but you better be prepared. 100% of my billionaire mentors, 100% get sued every day, all day for anything. 100%. They spend more time in court than anything. Dr. Martin Luther King spent more time, when you go visit his museum, he spent more time in jail than he ever did in public. This is just what comes with the territory, because that's what's been programmed with this world. Dog eat dog. Those at the top are evil. Those at the bottom will remain at the bottom until one of them step up and get shot in the head. Like, that's just the way it goes. That's what society, the world has taught us. That's what religion shows us. So we just have to create a new way and a different way. And I think the only way to do that, Byron, to get away from this whatever, is to come in as a group. You never see groups getting shot in the head. And there's the Bilderberg group ain't never been shot in the head.
Wow.
Man, if y'all enjoyed today's show so far, man, make sure you hit the like button, man. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let's get back to that video, B.
Yes, indeed. And I'm gonna share something else too here in a little bit. But let me go ahead and put this together right here while we do that.
Can I ask y'all a question though?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out why people is already saying Jay-Z is next. Like, this is the weird thing I don't understand. People already saying Jay-Z is next. Like, we never heard anything about Jay-Z going on. Now all of a sudden, you know, he's in the crosshairs. I mean, this is weird, man.
Listen. I'm telling you. I truly believe this. Once you become a billionaire, bro, the target is on your back, bro.
They don't want to see you up there, man.
Huh?
They don't want to see you up there.
Nah, bro. Like, you have to, because I think a certain part of us, bro, believes, right?
You got to come back down with us.
That once you reach a certain level of success, bro, once you reach a certain level of success, you have to be evil to justify, because most people can't. You become so unrelatable to most people that, bro, like, people just assume that you have to be evil. Like, I think it just comes with the territory, and people will attack you for that, you being that far different. Yeah. But anyway, let's get back to this article. Because I got another Instagram post that I want to share that came across, and it was crazy. And it just speaks to, bro, you know that these freak off parties, right? These freak off parties that we talking about, allegedly, they're not just happening with celebrities, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, apparently it's a whole ring of this shit going on in Atlanta, right? Allegedly. And these are regular people paying to be a part of these massive freak-offs with like hundreds of people. It's a crazy thing. I'm going to share that piece, and I want to get y'all's take on this. But anyway.
26. It names Sean Combs, a.k.a. Diddy, his son, Justin Dior, and several others. And it also includes photographs of bloody crime scenes, sex workers, and drugs allegedly administered at, quote, freak-off parties.
It's clear that the allegations, again, in this complaint, many of them rise to the level of criminal conduct, where you would expect to see some kind of criminal investigation taking place.
Civil rights attorney Ariva Martin is not connected to this case.
Okay, real quick. I don't want to get hit with a copyright. So I want to go to this link right here, right? This was sent to me. Somebody sent me this. I don't know. Is it too small? Let me see. How do I make this thing smaller? But anyway, this was sent.
Oh, you gotta make your screen smaller.
It's all good. I'm gonna rock with it. But it says, let's talk about them underground Atlanta orgies. Y'all been to one. I have. Here's my story. I guess this is a lady that went to one of these underground parties. It says, for my 30th birthday 2 years ago, my BFF suggested we should go to one. She's a big freak. I'm not, though, but I was curious. We signed up on this secret website and had to fill out a bunch of paperwork. Then we had to go get tested. Once we submitted everything, we were good to go. We got a special invite to show up to this secret address. The orgy was on a Saturday night at this warehouse all the way out in Lithonia. I was scared as F, but I said to myself, YOLO, Everything started at 7 p.m. Walked inside. We were frisked by security and then taken to a different area to take our clothes off. Listen to this. We were then taken to a different area. Soon after we walked inside with soon as we walked inside this semi-dark room, I saw like 400 people effing each other. Craziest thing ever. Some weird music was playing while nothing but moans and groans filled the air. The room smelled like roses and incense. And it was like Babylon. I felt weird and guilty. I almost wanted to leave, but then this dude with this 10-inch piece came out of nowhere and started kissing me on the neck. He was sexy AF. As he took my hand and walked me over to the couch. An hour later, I had 4 other dudes inside of me. My Jesus. All of the drugs and alcohol were being passed around. I popped ecstasy and went even crazier. I think that night I had like 200 dudes inside of me. Condoms were optional.
Boy, this is wild.
Only regret. Listen to this. Listen to this. Only regret I have is I wish I would have known about these orgies before I got married. Hubby was away on business trips. He figured money was more important than my B-day. Well, 200 other ninjas showed up. Showed me just how important I was that weekend. Okay.
My God. Hey, bro.
On World AIDS Day, Georgia leads the nation in new HIV cases, and Atlanta is a hot spot.
Okay. Hey, bro. We need to hear a female opinion about this.
That's nasty ass stuff right there. That's just nasty.
Yo.
Hey, bro. That's a whole lot of action going on. 200 pieces, bro. Yeah, 200 hot dogs, man.
What's your take on this, Dr. O?
Hold on. Oh, there's a lot of men that had sex with 200 women. Yes or yes?
We talking about one night?
No.
She said one night, right?
Yo, I ain't never did no 200 women.
Bro, that's a lot.
In a night. Yo, that is crazy.
I do want to.
That's a lot of hot dogs in that
What's
water
your take on this, though, Dr. O?
I want to tell a personal testimony.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So my testimony is obviously not as dramatic as that one because I didn't do anything physical. But what I will say is on VH1, when I was selected to be a part of Flavor of Love, they literally make you go when you're on a dating show. I'm not for sure exactly for all the shows. So I was on two shows, one on NBC, one on VH1. And I've been selected for a lot of TV shows, but the ones that don't deal in dating, they don't make you go through the stringent process. They make you go through the same process that girl said at first. So we're not talking about the sexual stuff. So just get that out your head. We're talking about the process of entering in the room. It is the same process for a television show when you're dating because of the disease transactions, because of what happened with Usher and different people, that if someone does give someone a disease, knowing that they have a disease, everybody's going to get sued. So I will say that when you started off, before she got freaky, before she went up in there, that's the same process that all of us girls had to go through to be on the shows with these guys, because there was going to be a potential sexual transaction. That was what the guy wanted. That's what Flavor Flav wanted, right? He saw girls he liked. He wanted one of them to be his woman. He had sex with these women. That was period. So what I'm saying is, well, the one on that show, I remembered asking them, I was younger, and I was like, why? I mean, I have no intentions of having sex with Flavor Flav. They were like, but he has intentions of having sex with you. So nobody cares about what you're going through. You better sign these documents. I had to go take the test. I had to go to the clinics. I had to do all the reporting, the cycle vows, all the things that they want you to go through. I would just say at the top of her letter, I went through that myself, and that was on national television. So I can only imagine what these private people require and want. But when you go in there and you choose to go in there, what happened to her after does in fact happen. But you know that and you agree to that. But that's the difference between Diddy's parties for people that do that and for the innocent girls that him or Epstein, or allegedly him, but definitely Epstein did. It's okay with the people that agree to that. But when people don't agree to that kind of stuff and they enter up in those rooms and realize that that's what that's about, that's when you have to let them go home. And what's the problem is they don't let them go home.
Wow.
So I just want to say I've been through that before. And if I don't know anyone else that has a dating show thing, they can vouch for that. They're going to make you do that. There is going to be sex involved. When you're dealing with these type of rooms and not rooms, excuse me, these type of communities, there will be sex involved. So all those people that act like they didn't know, they know.
Yeah, I know when I look at those shows, that's the first thing I think about. Somebody's gone.
So if y'all would have saw me on there, y'all could have said Dr. O was humping Flavor Flav. That's a fact.
Oh yeah,
easy.
That's what I would have said. I would have said, yeah, Dr. O got some flavor of love.
Say that.
Yeah, them clocks.
So real quick. So the God, what's your take on these freak off parties? And apparently Malachi just put in the chat that they have these same freak off parties in Houston too. So these are not, the reason why I wanted to bring it up is that I believe that people in general are inherently
freaks,
sexual deviants. Like, I'm just talking about regular people. You probably walking by them, you're working with them, right? And they had freak off parties. You don't know about it, right? Just, you mind your business, right? But these people are at these freak off parties and you have no clue. And so my thing is, what's your take on people engaging in freak off parties, whether they're a celebrity or just a regular person? What's your take on that, DeGar?
I'm still kind of stuck on the 200. Like, Shorty is a pro. Like, she's a pro. But I mean, but see, like, these things are common, right? Like, my wife would tell me, listen, okay, with the money, this thing comes, right? Like, people start having sex and all of this different stuff. But when does it become criminalized? Like, Shorty, she told that story. Could one day, 20 years from now, she'd be like, oh, well, I really didn't give my consent to these 200 guys, right? And then the conversation changes. And, investigations start. And, if it was somebody there that's of some type of prominence, that person might go to jail. So that's what I'm saying. It's a thin line with these type of situations where you never know how this thing is going to end up, right? Because, you think about Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner, he was doing this like forever. And what happened to him?
People glorified it too.
Claudia comment is wild. Yo, what you mean, Claudia? What you mean by that? She say, wait a minute. She say, is that considered a gangbang? Hold on. I'm trying to put the comment up. Is that considered? My Jesus. So I wonder, that's a good question. Because 200 is like that's a tribe. That, you understand what I'm talking about? Like, I'm thinking, wait a minute, when does the limit? Where's the cutoff limit? I'm thinking for myself, like, that's a community. Yeah, that's a community. That's an organizational bang.
Hey, bro, that's damn near like a gallon, like literally a gallon.
Yo,
bro, that's a lot, bro.
And the first dude, no Diddy, she said 10 inches. The first dude, no Diddy though.
It was with the no Diddy.
So my thing is this, though. I'm pretty sure, right? I'm gonna keep it real, and I want to add a little pressure to the conversation. I want to get Dr. O in on this. What if she was to change her mind? Let's say, for instance, because I'm pretty sure she shared this on social media, right? And it's not largely publicized, right? It didn't go viral. We're not reading about viral right now. I don't know how long, because this kind of stuff do go viral. If it went viral, she's embarrassed now. She's experiencing some level of emotional trauma, right? And like the God was saying, what if she changes her mind and says, you know what, I don't know if I really gave consent to 200 dudes. That's kind of crazy.
But you got to think about it. This chick was married, bro. Boy, what?
So I want to hear from Dr. O, like, what if she does change her mind, right? And instead of appreciating that moment, maybe she feels she was taken advantage of, or she was under the influence of drugs, which led her to make, because she did say that they started passing around the drugs, right? And then she popped the ecstasy and boom. What if she,
when they feel embarrassed?
Yeah, what if she feels embarrassed now? You know what I mean, and don't really want to deal with that. Like, what is that conversation like, and how should society perceive that conversation? Your take.
That's called a settlement out of court, because so just legalistically, right, in all seriousness, if someone, so there was a gentleman who sued Razzoos, and I don't want to lie on the restaurant, but just think of a Razzoos, some top name, something that everyone knows or some people have been to or heard of. He sued them for being embarrassed because they sung happy birthday to him, and he won $1 million, right? Because when you think about there's two things happening. I consent to coming into this Freaknik. I consent to some activities, but I do not consent to all the things that go on in this room. And I was not aware of everything that happens in here. I was aware of this part, but I wasn't aware of this part. That is a true lawsuit. Because now you're talking about the difference between my wherewithal and my influence, people being influenced, because the brain is extremely programmable. And we know that because we see two people come from the same parents. One of them's rich and one of them's on drugs. The brain is very programmable. Okay. So I'm saying that to say that you have two people, one who went in that room, who knew what she was getting into, and one who didn't really know what she was getting into, but she was curious. Her curiosity killed the cat, literally. Okay. And what happens is that psychologically, so we're dealing with the psychological facts of something that happens to you psychologically after you commit to something. And that's what we're dealing with. And that's called a settlement out of court. And whomever was in power, or whomever was in control or leadership or whatever you want to call it, they would go ahead and settle, because you're right. You didn't know everything you were getting into. You didn't know how far it was going to go. You weren't aware of all the stipulations. So we'll pay you for that. But other than that, we do have an agreement that you did sign, that you did know something was going to happen. You just didn't know how it was going to affect you. So when we're talking about the dealings of effects, that's why we see people that were in the room with Bill Cosby, intentionally to have sex with Bill Cosby, still bothered by what the effects of being with Bill Cosby happened, right? So there's a few things that are going on, and there is consensual sex that people do regret. There's a lot of people that regret getting married, right? Like they meant it, and then they got in it, and then whoop, she took her wig off, or he didn't get it up, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, I thought I was marrying such and such, or I thought that we were going to be this, but we weren't. So now we're going to get a divorce, and that's a lawsuit, right? There's a settlement that has to happen. So in that case, if she changed her mind after the fact, there is a possible case. Now, if they chose not to pay out, or she lost that case, that would also be righteous. If she won that case and got a settlement, that would be righteous. So we have a few rights going on. There can be many truths happening at one time. And I agree, if for whatever the reason she was not within her right mind, and she decided to let her emotions control her, and she decided to cheat on her own husband because she wasn't getting what she wanted, which a lot of people do. That's the main reason why a lot of people cheat. It starts when they're 13, 14 years old. It's something that clicks in their brain. I did some research. Not only that, but there's a big portion of people, cheaters are already in their head at 13, 14, 15 years old, based off of the way they're not getting their way psychologically at that age. They grow up to become cheaters. Or there can be a mental, emotional situation that click on, and she put herself in that situation. So her husband would be in somewhat at fault, believe it or not, in some type of court cases, if they had the right psychologist up in there, right? So they would put it back on her husband and say, oh no, wait a minute, she was having marital problems, and that's what led her to come over here, and we have no guilt. So if I was a defense attorney, which I'm really good at, I'm on the prosecution side all the time, but if I was a defense attorney, I would argue that her husband sent her into a psychological, emotional situation. She needs therapy, but we're not giving her a check. And if I was the prosecuting attorney, I would say, hey, listen, my client was not aware of everything that would happen, and it is about her mental state right now, and she needs help and she needs money. So there's two ways to argue that, and that's the point of court, right? And then a judge would have to make a decision. This obviously wouldn't go to jury, but because there's no criminal activity. But I think that, yes, Byron, I think you bring up an excellent point. There are some people that get themselves into stuff that they thought they wanted, and then when they get it, they're like, oh, I didn't expect all of that, and I feel terrible, and I'm even suicidal, or something more dramatic. Like, I've tried to kill myself, and I ended up in this hospital. When they started asking me questions, I told them about my experience. That hospital has the right to say, hey, look, we feel like there was an act that was violated. We want to report this to the authorities. That could happen. It happens all the time. So I'm saying that to say that Byron brings up an excellent point, but it is case by case, and obviously depending on the judge, the lawyers, the this, the that, it will get thrown out, or she might get a check. And I think that at the end of it all, she's still at fault by engaging in what she didn't know. If you don't do your due diligence as an investor of anything, come what may, and I go through it all the time.
Man, it's powerful when we think about this, just in this general concept, right? And we're gonna get back to this Diddy stuff here in a little bit, because I want to make sure that we cover this, because this is really, really powerful. But I bring this up to bring this other piece up real quick, because I want to highlight something that Dr. O kind of hinted on, and I want to speak to men. It's a concept called understanding sexual transmutation. Sexual transmutation. I think they talk about this in Think and Grow Rich. Am I correct?
I don't know.
Anybody read Think and Grow Rich?
That might be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I need to read it.
But either way, right? So it's an understanding called transmutation, and what it is using sexual transmutation. What is sexual transmutation? Is the process of redirecting sexual energy towards productive endeavors, such as creative pursuits, career goals, or personal growth, right? And it also talks about harnessing energy for success. By practicing sexual transmutation, men can channel their sexual energy into activities that drive personal and professional success, leading to increased focus, motivation, and achievement. Spiritual and emotional benefits of redirecting sexual energy can result in spiritual and emotional growth, enhancing overall well-being and inner peace. And the consequences of casual sex, engaging in casual sex without considering its spiritual and emotional implications, can lead to energy depletions, as it involves exchanging energy with partners without mutual consent or spiritual connection, right? And it says respect and connection. Flagrantly having sex without considering the deeper meaning and connection with partners can lead to a lack of respect for oneself and others, hindering the development of meaningful relationships. Now, that last piece is critically important when we talk about a situation like what we're dealing with this Diddy thing, because when you have sex with people, you share a certain level of energy with that person. And sometimes you create attachments and love ties, soul ties, all different types of ties. And when you in and out like that, it can easily set you up for evil attachments, evil exchanges, energy, all of these different things, bro. And then you wonder why a lot of evil can just come back 20 years from now, 30 years from now. And I'm still awaiting all at once, because, bro, especially when people go through spiritual cleanses, when they revitalize themselves, bro, and they really start processing trauma and why they did a certain thing and all of these different types of things, bro, you never know what may come up, right, as a result of them reflecting on that time period in their lives. So yeah. I truly believe that discipline is critical for men, bro. Especially if you are successful, especially if you have a higher profile in society. What you say?
I agree with Bam said that dick discipline is the main downfall of men. That might need to be a whole show.
Bro, you can't, because here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Drake has not reached a Billy yet. I do believe that if Drake hits that Billy club, he's gonna be next, because he's having his way. And I don't know, bro. I just think that,
it's too much positive on him, not enough. It's too much positive, not enough negative on him. But at the same time, they thought LeBron was gonna be next. They can't find no dirt on that.
Yeah, but LeBron did it smart. First of all, LeBron is married.
Yeah,
LeBron is married. You gotta understand, marriage in itself is a shield a lot of times to a lot of this type of stuff. A lot of times.
A lot of them don't be married once they hit billionaire status either. I don't know if you noticed that.
That's yeah. But I think when you are married, it acts as a shield, right?
That's why Jay-Z good.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why he good. I think if he was single, he'd be considered in an Illuminati clique. I think at this point, I ain't even bullshit. Like, so I'm really just speaking truth to men. This is just what I have seen, right? Even men who every now and then, step out every now and then. That marriage a lot of times can act as a shield from a lot of things. Family can act as a shield. I'm just saying. But let's continue on this right here. Just continue on this real quick.
She is serving as a legal analyst.
If even a handful, not the entire complaint of allegations, but even if a handful of these allegations are true, they mean trouble for Sean Combs.
Jones lived and traveled with Diddy for 13 months.
He looked like he liked
the
Diddy.
States, Mr. Jones was sexually harassed and assaulted by Mr. Combs. It also states Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to solicit sex workers. The complaint goes on to claim Diddy has hidden cameras in every room of his homes. And
so that's the reason. Hold on. That's the reason why
that's a problem.
The houses. They want to find what's on them hidden cameras.
Yeah.
Right. So they looking for those hidden cameras so they can uncover what's
of the really going on.
Yeah, they want to find out.
Hey, bro.
A
lot of people finna be in trouble, boy.
They finna be out of there, bro. And here's the thing, though. It ain't gonna be just Diddy. It's gonna be politicians. It's really what they going after, bro. They want to find. They want to catch somebody who is super clean slipping. They want to catch TD Jakes.
They want to catch DJ Khaled.
They want DJ Khaled.
TD Jakes. He already be sweating. Just imagine if they catch his ass on camera sweating.
Oh, they catch DJ Khaled. Oh, that's gonna be a wild situation, bro. So, I mean, listen, soliciting sex workers, massive freak off parties. What do we think? Let me see. I just can't believe Diddy Day. Yeah. What do we think this says about us as a society? Number one, that we're even, why do we feel Diddy needs to engage in this particular behavior, right? Allegedly. Why do we believe that, how have we become such a society where this is just accepted behavior from men? And how do women feel about men who have Playboy lifestyles? I want to ask that question to Dr. O.
I got a question after that. After that.
Absolutely. What do you think about men who live 20, 30-year Playboy lifestyles, never get married, never settle down, never build family? Is it, how do you feel about those men? It's your personal opinion, honestly.
I honestly don't have one. I wouldn't even know what to say because, we could start saying, oh, there's mommy issues, there's daddy issues. Maybe he was molested. Maybe this, maybe that. It's too many moving parts to determine that.
But I mean, personally, I'm saying when you see a man who has not.
I don't know. I mean, I know too many of them. I mean, I love them. They're my brothers. I don't know what to say. Like my cousins are like that. My cousin runs a brothel in Russia right now through Bitcoin. I mean, I don't know what to tell people. If I sat here and tried to, personally, I don't have a problem with people who live there. There's women that do that. There's people that do that. There's societies that do that. I don't know what to say. They're human beings. Now I can say I wouldn't want that in my personal space intimately. Like I wouldn't date a guy like that. But to sit there and judge someone, I don't, because I know too many reasons on why, I know too many sex workers, personal. Like I drive them around. I talk to them. I get to know them and stuff. There's so many different things going on with these people that is so hard to judge personally. Seriously. I would not, of course, be around, hang around or be cooped up with a one-on-one basis, private conversations, things like that. No, I would not put myself on a photo with Puff Daddy. I would have never, ever I mean, I've been around Puff Daddy. I've never gotten on a phone. I have no interest in being on a picture with him because of the energy that comes with all of that stuff. But if we ever had a private conversation, I wouldn't not be like, oh, I can't talk to him because he's a playboy. That's crazy. So personally, it doesn't bother me per se. But in my personal life, like up on me, no, I'm not going to deal with people, women or men, that have a lot of sexual energy, because that lust demon is something else. That's another one. That one right there is tough. That lust demon doesn't just attract sex. It attracts so many other darkness, so much other darkness that comes with it, that it's hard to get off of that one. It's hard to get out of that one because there's so many things involved in perversion. Perversion is almost, to me personally, the worst of all the dark spirits. Perversion is the worst.
Why
the
is
reason
that?
why because it
Keisha,
doesn't care age. It doesn't discriminate. That's the thing. It doesn't care if it's a child. It doesn't care if it's a horse. It does. Perversion could care less. It has no regard. So, but whenever I'm dealing with anyone with no regard, no boundaries, I already know that that's potential death for me. So I definitely don't have personal interaction like that. But when it comes to like my blood, I can only speak for my bloodline, my cousins. And a lot of my cousins own brothels and had sex workers and things of that nature, personally working for them in massage companies and things like that. I didn't hang around those cousins like that, but if we were at a dinner, I kissed on them and loved on them like everybody else. So I just know I can't put my person on those people, but I don't necessarily judge because there's so many things going on. So to look at a Puff Daddy, no, he's not my cup of tea at all as a person. But if he needed something, and needed someone, privately, I would talk to those people, but no, never publicly. And to be quite honest with you, when it comes to those playboys or playgirls or whatever you want to call them, there's more than sex going on with them, right? So it's kind of tough to judge them personally.
When you say
really
it's more than sex going on, what you mean by that?
There's some mental things, there's some emotional things, there's a lot of other things going on with them. Sex is an outlet, just like drugs or basketball or whatever else you choose to do, or working out or whatever. Sex is the least of their concern, especially when it gets to constant, there's other underlying principles going on. So if I got on here and every time I got on No Stingy Energy podcast, or every time I came in the Business Over Breakfast room, and every time I was talking about my vagina, like every time, y'all would think something was wrong with me mentally. Like, okay, Dr. O, we get it.
Yeah.
At some point you would say, okay,
you'd have a lot of DMs too.
Well, but still, that would prove that those people have some issues as well. Okay? So I'm just saying, it can't be just sex. It has to be something else.
Yeah. So look, we are doing something different, So now the show is gonna be what, an hour, Byron?
Well, we're gonna yeah, something like that.
So now we're gonna have a part 2. So right now we're gonna end the show and we're gonna have a part 2. If you want to be on part 2, you could join us because we're about to record it right now. Where the link is, they want to join us. So Dr. O, the God, if you don't mind, if you want to stay, we're gonna have this conversation off live.
No problem.
Cool deal. It's gonna be.
If anybody wants to join, y'all hit the link and we're gonna continue this conversation. We're gonna cut off live and we're gonna have the part 2. And it's gonna be tomorrow, right, Ruby?
No, it's gonna air tomorrow, but it's gonna record today.
We're recording right now, but we're gonna play it tomorrow. So now we try to produce more content for you guys for better quality channel. So if y'all want to be on part 2 right now, hit that link. We're about to record it. Any final words before we get out of here, Bob?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say this. At the end of the day, if Diddy has is done this stuff, man, he deserved everything he getting. You never know what type of karma is a result of all of these things. But regardless of any of that, I want to say to fellas and ladies, right, and anybody who is looking to build something, if you're looking to build something, just know that your sexual exploits can lead to significant downfalls in your life. And so you just want to make sure that you're moving with a certain level of discipline as you navigate this world, because all it takes is one, right? All it takes is one to ruin your entire empire that you've worked for 20, 30, 40 years. This is a real thing. This is a real thing. Like, if you think about it, right, they had those big sequoia trees, right, in California. And I think those things grow for hundreds of years. Literally, with the right chainsaw, you can knock one down in a day.
The right disease is going to disintegrate.
Yeah, you know, you can knock that joint down in a day with the right chainsaw. So I say all that to say, man, look, be protective of your legacy, be protective of the things that you build. And one of the ways to be protective of the things that you build is to just not engage in everything just because you got those options. It's not worth it all the time.
You got to make better decisions and think about the outcome. Before you put your thing in there, think about what can happen. It could be kids, it could be diseases, it could be, she could only want your money, man. She could trap you. You just never know. Just think about the outcome. Just because she's cute don't mean she come with good intentions. That's all. We're going to see y'all in part 2, man. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. I don't know what time it's going to be airing, so make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
It's going to air same time.
Same time. And make sure if you want to be a part of it, you click the link right there. We're going to post it one more time. Let's see. We're going to post it one more time. So we ain't got to hear no excuses that I didn't see.
I'm still violated by that comment Keisha put in that chat, boy, about TJ Jakes. Boy, I'm violated. You hear me?
Talking about TJ Jakes getting swallowed.
Whoa.
We out, yo. We see y'all in part 2. If y'all want to join, make sure y'all click the link. We see y'all on the other side. Peace.
What's up, y'all? So most people struggle with sales. A lot of us in real estate, and we struggle with our sales. We struggle with follow-up. We struggle with leads. And we just basically missing out on deals. For me, I just got on Taskify CRM. They send messages out for you. And look, a lot of us have work. When you get off of work, you have hot leads ready for you. Make sure you check out Taskify CRM. I'm telling you, it automatically replies for you. And look, it sends you multiple messages. Like we talking about drip campaigns, so you're not missing up on the lead follow-up. So make sure you check out Taskify CRM. Use coupon code NOSTINGYENERGY to get 10% off. I'm about to show y'all inside my CRM so I can see how it really works. Make sure y'all check it out. Peace.